when I grew up, the softest thing on TV was either Charmin or Pillsbury Doughboy. Those were the softest things on TV when I grew up. For people growing up now, the softest thing on TV is apparently NBA players. Hello and welcome to the Tea Party Hardy channel, where the party is just getting started. Current events looked at through a skeptical eye using science, history, and sometimes humor to explore the events of the day. Let's get down to business. An NBA commissioner says the league has moved away from the term owner. Oh my. Adam Silver of the NBA commissioners said in an interview published Monday that the league has moved away from the term owner and said they are now referred to as governors. Which they're neither. They're not governors. They are owners. They're not governors. Silver was stopped in New York by TMZ and said he is sensitive to the term. TMZ reported earlier that the NBA teams have dropped the term because of its racial component and since most of the players in the league are black. That's really softer than Charmin, and that's really softer than the Pillsbury Doughboy. You shouldn't say owner. Oh, shouldn't say, wow. See, that's the era we live in now. Now we say you shouldn't say. Now we're policing other people. We are the most bossy generation for the softest generation. It's a weird combination. You shouldn't say owner, Golden State Warrior forward Draymond Green said on HBO last year. Silver pointed to the Green interview and said that he completely respects his opinion on the matter. Okay, and I respect that you shouldn't squeeze the Charmin. What are you going to do about that? He did say that some players took pride when Michael Jordan was able to call himself an owner, and said players have generally gone both ways on the issue. A quick glance at each team staff directories listed on their official website showed about 15 organizations do not list an owner. One of the things you never see, you don't see Jews pretending like the Holocaust is still going on, and you don't see anybody else pretending like the worst of the worst times are still going on. And more importantly, you don't see it from multi-millionaires. I think it would be really inspirational and effective if somehow there were a way to get these owners and these players, they're players, they're not workers, they're not even workers, they're players, to go to some form of historical museum, which is hilarious because in our world we're not allowed to have historical museums showing what it was like to be a slave. Neither the good part or the bad part. You can't say there was a good part of being a slave. I'm not saying there's a good part of being a slave. What I am saying is it wasn't being whipped and beaten constantly. The drudgery of being trapped under a system where you can't leave is the bad part. And anybody who's poor, not multimillionaire NBA players, anybody who's poor who cannot switch their job for reasons of medical or reasons of geography, whatever the case may be, the emotional burden they carry is far, far, far more similar to being a slave than a multimillionaire NBA player who can switch teams whenever their contract is up and go for even more money. And they have the liberty to travel wherever they want, whenever they want, because of their money. For them to act like they are slaves is such a spit in the face of human beings that have been slaves, regardless of color. Because this concept that slaves is black versus white is to ignore the whole planet's history. Greece was filled with slaves. Rome was filled with slaves. Africa currently is filled with slaves. It's arguable there are places in America where there are actual real-life slaves. Slavery is anything but removed from this planet. And for these guys to say, you can't say that you're an owner of me. They're not. They're the owner of the team. They're the owner of the franchise. The ignorance and the softness is through the roof. Nice checking in with you again. I got to get back to work. It's going great summer with lots and lots to do. I hope the same is for you and that you're enjoying it very well. We hope you enjoyed the content, and if you did, feel free to like, subscribe, come on back anytime. You're always welcome here as part of the family, and we'll see you in the future.